ready to announce that I will be back in Brisbane the first week of the season.
Welcome to another edition of the Monday Morning Tennis Rant. Now, you heard this little clip that I just played, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for 2024. Not only is Rafa coming back, it's my favorite player of all time. I'm so grateful that he's going to try to play one more year, and I'm going to cherish every match. My expectations are super low. I don't expect him to do anything special, but I'm just going to enjoy every single match with Rafa starting in Brisbane, and I'm super excited. And of course, millions of Rafa fans all over the world are excited as well. But that's not the only thing that's going to be great about 2024, which I think is going to be one of the greatest tennis years ever. There are other players that are coming back that are super exciting. Angelique Kerber. Remember Angelique Kerber? A lot of people forgot about her. She's coming back next year. Emma Raducanu is coming back, and Naomi Osaka is coming back. Just imagine if Naomi Osaka can play at the same level that she normally plays. This is going to toss up the top of the game. She could be right in that mix of Rybakina, Sabalenka, Swiatek. It could make the top 5 super exciting, including Coco Gauff. So the fact that Osaka's coming back is great for women tennis, and it's going to be interesting to see what someone like Kerber and Raducanu can do as well. But the greatest thing about 2024 are going to be the Olympics. I'm a big fan of the Olympic tennis tournament, and I do place its value super high. And everybody that's a real tennis fan knows that you cannot be considered a GOAT if you don't have Olympic gold. Now, which player has Olympic gold in singles and doubles? That's Rafa. Now, how about the guy that's currently considered a GOAT, Novak Djokovic? He has 0 Olympic titles. So you cannot call yourself the GOAT unless you have Olympic gold. I'm kidding, of course. All you Rafa fans are getting excited. I made a Monday morning rant a few weeks back where I talked about some of the Rafa fans on Twitter, pointing out reasons why Rafa is the GOAT over Djokovic. No, I'm just kidding. Djokovic is the GOAT, but I do think that the Olympic tennis tournament is very important. Maybe it has close to the importance of winning a Grand Slam title. If you look at players like Monica Puig or Nicolas Massou, who both have Olympic titles, I'm sure they wouldn't trade that for a Grand Slam tournament. So Djokovic wants this Olympic gold really badly. Can he get it? Of course he absolutely can. He's the best player of 2023. But there's going to be a lot of pressure, and to my understanding, it's going to be played on clay, which complicates things a little bit for Djokovic, especially if Rafa is going to play at his absolute best. If Alcaraz is going to play at his absolute best, it's going to be a tough tournament for Djokovic to win. But he can do it, and whether he can do it or not, it's going to be something that's going to be super exciting to watch. I'm going to quickly wrap up 2023. It was the year of Novak Djokovic, absolute dominance at his age. What he was able to do this year is truly spectacular and has never been seen in the history of tennis. But 2023 was also the arrival of Jannik Sinner, who has established himself as one of the top guys. I equate Sinner now at the same level as Alcaraz, even though Sinner has not won a Grand Slam tournament yet. I didn't do a rant last Monday after Davis Cup, but I watched the entire Davis Cup and I was unbelievably impressed with Sinner's performance against Djokovic, but even more so in the doubles thereafter, where he completely blasted Djokovic and Kecmanovic off the court. Sinner was hitting forehands that were unbelievably fast, these flat shots that almost took the net guy's head off. The way Sinner saved those 3 match points against Djokovic, down 5-4 in the third and love 40, was incredibly impressive. I will say that at 30-40, Djokovic did have a look for a passing shot. Sinner came in with a forehand approach shot that was pretty good, but it was definitely a look for Djokovic to maybe do a down the line backhand passing shot, cross court, or maybe even a lob, but Djokovic played the backhand right into Sinner's racket, and Sinner put the volley away. And then, interestingly, after that, Djokovic kind of went away. But Sinner did save those match points on his own terms. He was hitting winners. He 100% deserved to win that match. And the way he played in the doubles afterwards, and the way he played the next day against Australia by completely destroying De Minaur 3-0, it was very impressive. And like I said, no doubt in my mind, Sinner now is at the same level as Alcaraz, as Djokovic. Any tournament this guy shows up, he's got a great chance to win it. Now, what was the best match of 2023? Well, for me, the most entertaining match of 2023 was the Wimbledon final by far. As far as the quality of tennis, I would say it was the Cincinnati final. That was some of the most amazing tennis that I've ever seen. So those two matches stand out for me. As far as the women, the French Open final between Swiatek and Mohova was not only the most entertaining match to watch, but it also features the highest quality of play. Now, last week we had the next gen finals, and Hamad Medjedovic won, who I've been following this year. I saw him play at the tournament in Sofia, and I was unbelievably impressed. The guy has unbelievable firepower. Hits one of the best serves that I've seen on tour so far. Hits the ball extremely hard, a little bit more flat than what you normally see from young players. But in any case, he's an extremely talented player and one to watch out for in 2024. But one thing I want to talk about that worries me a little bit about the future of tennis, and this is not something that's imminent. I think this is something that's going to come down the years, and that is the shortening of tennis. I don't think it's going to be good for tennis. Let me just tell you what I've been observing. So at the junior circuit here in Southeast Florida, for a while now, the third set has pretty much been abolished. So unless you're playing like a national level tournament, if you're playing any regular tournament around here, you're not going to play a third set, you're going to play a third set super tiebreak up to 10. Okay, so we can deal with that to some extent. We see this in doubles even on the tour. But now, that's not enough. Sets are played up to 4. And that's something that I don't like. I do think that a set should go up to 6. And very recently I've heard that not only have they cut the sets down to 4, but now at some tournaments they only play one set up to 4. And I can tell you that when I played college tennis, this is going back 25 years ago, in the fall season where you had individual tournaments, not dual matches. There was a lot of experimentation done even back in those days. So what the Division I NCAA experimented with back then was not let the guys warm up prior to the match starting. They also played lets on the serve, and they also played sets up to 5, sets up to 4. At one tournament, they even got rid of the 15 love, 30 love, 40 love scoring. We were counting 1, 2, 3, 4 as far as the games are concerned. And I hated this back then, and I hate it even more today, because there are some things that can be changed in tennis. For example, you can change the way the court looks. You can make the court look more modern as far as the stadium is concerned and so on. The TV coverage, the line calling, all that can be improved, and it's great for the fans. And I got absolutely no problem with it. But when it comes to the more traditional aspects of tennis, such as its scoring system, under no circumstance should this ever be tinkered with. Why? Because the shorter you make a tennis match, the more that match can be influenced by things such as luck. Now listen, in the modern world of a short attention span where all the content that's consumed is of a short duration, I understand that tennis is going this way, and the next gen finals is a perfect example because they play sets up to 4. They experiment with not allowing the players to warm up, and I just have a feeling that tennis is going in this direction because the best of 5 has disappeared from the regular tour. They used to play best of 5 finals at Master Series tournaments. Now that doesn't exist anymore. My worry is that they're going to cut the best of 5 at Grand Slams maybe in the early rounds, and they're only going to leave it in the later rounds. And let me tell you one thing about the best matches in the history of tennis. They're all best of 5 tennis matches. Nobody remembers short matches. Just be honest with yourself. The matches that stand out to you as the greatest matches that you've ever seen have all been 5-set battles. Now, do you want the match to go on forever like Isner and Mahut? No, you don't. And that's why the tiebreak is one of the greatest inventions ever in tennis, because sets used to go on. Back in the day, the sets used to finish 16-40 or 22-20, so they invented the tiebreak, and this is a great way to cap the set. The set is finally gonna end, and I don't mind the tiebreak in the 5th set as well. And look, I can tell you a personal story on how I consume tennis matches, and which will go counter to what some people say, that tennis matches go on too long. And look, it's not just that tennis matches go on too long. When you have a tennis tournament, the matches are going to be on all day, and you kind of pick and choose what you want to watch, right? So it's going to be rare that you sit through a 4 or 5 hour match. I will only usually do that when it's semifinals or finals, when I have time to watch. But generally, when I'm looking at the draw and when I see that a match is in the 5th set, this is where I want to tune in and I want to watch it really badly. And I think that's how a lot of people consume tennis. Is they might not be watching from the first minute, but when that match gets tight, when it gets into the 4th, 5th set, when it's a real battle, I think that's when a lot of people tune in, and I like watching these type of matches. So my worry is that tennis is going in the direction of shorter matches where best of 5 eventually is going to become obsolete, and I think that's a shame, because think of it this way. If you have a player like Novak Djokovic or Rafael Nadal or Roger Federer, where are these players the hardest to beat best out of 5 sets? Think about it. In a Grand Slam tournament, you have to win 3 sets against Djokovic. In a regular tournament, you have to win 2 sets. Not that winning 2 sets against Djokovic is easy. It's hard enough, and I do think that the best players will prevail and be at the top of the rankings regardless of what system is in place, whether it's a short scoring format or a long scoring format. The best players are going to be on top. But having said that, I love the idea of the hardest challenge in tennis being beating the best players in a best of 5 match at a Grand Slam tournament. My hope is that this never gets taken away from us, because I do think that tennis will suffer tremendously because of it.